Malls have opened up in the north of India, and one of the leading mall chains, DLF shopping malls, opened doors in mid of June. It's been over a month since they've opened, and guess what? The footfalls have increased, and so has the spending capacity. Joining me today on the show is the Executive Director of DLF Shopping Malls, Ms. Pushpa Bector, to tell us about the new normal of shopping and eating out. Ms. Bector, thank you so much for joining in on Curly Tales. Well, it's been a tough time for everyone, but shopping and visiting a mall has been such a big part of our culture. How are things shaping up with Unlock 3.0? Are DLF malls open?
Yes, thank you, Kamiya, for inviting me to Curly Tales. And I've been sort of following you, and it's very interesting in what you do. One thing that I wanted to do is that, yes, we opened the malls June 15th, June 15th, June 16th is when we opened it.
All right.
And some great surprises that came our way. One is, of course, the footfall was very low. The first 15 days, the footfall was as low as 15% of previous last year levels. Okay. That was really low. And however, the sales has not been so low. The sales has actually been 30% of previous levels. Now, the first 15 days in July has been much better. Footfall has gone up to around 40% of previous levels. Right. So Delhi has actually bounced back in true Delhi spirit. And if things go this way, we think that October, November, life will be much different to what we see today. Yes. So, and ultimately it's word of mouth, and when they feel safe, they talk to family, they talk to friends, and then more start coming in because they're all sort of tired being indoors.
Absolutely. Now, if I'm correct, I believe there are about 6 major malls under DLF shopping malls, and are they all open? And let's also talk about the one in Chandigarh. What's happening there?
Yeah, so the Delhi malls have responded rather well. We have Cyber Hub in Haryana, which, the bars, Cyber Hub is a more bar-centric space. Right. Bars are not open. Bars are not opened yet. So what we have got there is 40 retail and F&B outlets open out of 98. So it's almost there, 45% are open in spite of no bars being operational. And we are seeing, more and more people coming into those spaces. We also have a small mall in Chandigarh, and Chandigarh has been, again, a bit of an outlier because as a city, I think it managed the COVID situation rather well. And hence, people started coming into Chandigarh, the mall, and sales started happening, pretty quickly from week one. I was surprised. So really, why is Chandigarh behaving so differently?
Well, Delhi is clearly validating how much they love their socializing skills. But what are the... but if you could take me through the exact guidelines, or so to say, any person who walks into a DLF mall, what is the experience going to be like? Because that's some lesson or key lessons rather we Mumbaikars will take when our malls open up.
Of course. So what we have is when a consumer walks in, the consumer will see a thermal sensor, very seamless. Walking in, the temperatures are checked. The thermal sensor can actually take in a crowds, streams of people, and it will isolate the one with the temperature without having to check manually. That's a big plus. Then the person walks in from the main entrance. They see that the sanitization, remember, Kamiya, is a lot of it is what is done before operations begin. Sanitization is not what you keep sort of seeing visibly. What you see visibly is the handrails, the high-touch surfaces, the elevator buttons. They're constantly getting sanitized. We have a unified app for all our properties, and it's AI backed. Mm-hmm. And what we've done is that we've said, as per the MHA guidelines, what's the number of people who can be in that building, including employees, retail employees, anyone who can be in that building to maintain social distancing. So if you go into our Lookout app and click on Shop Safe and click on Promenade, you will know that, say, there are 1,000 people in that building, but actually through social distancing norms, 5,500 can be there. So on a Saturday, the consumer feels that much more, comfortable We will further now refine that the consumer can also see every shop and see, is the social distancing, is it getting too crowded? If there is a sale on each shop, the consumer can say, do I want to enter X shop or Y shop? Is there a lot of crowd? So when the crowd ebbs down, then the person can enter. Through Lookout app, created a contactless dining program. So these are the series of things that we are doing. Now, beyond this, we are also looking at some very interesting things like video calling WhatsApp service. If you do not want to go to the mall, say Zara's on sale and you don't want to go and you want a personal appointment with the Zara shop assistant, you can do that through the app. Then she tells you the shop, and she gives you a half an hour slot or a 15-minute slot. And you actually get a video calling service going on. And then you can pick up what you want to from the comfort of your home.
This clearly seems like the new normal of shopping, and necessity to be the mother of invention, because so many innovative things are happening around us. Ms. Becca, if you can tell me, is there a capacity or a cap of number of people that can enter into a mall? Have you put a number as such to that? And
Yes,
given by the government too.
that is right. So what we actually did is the MHA guidelines clearly defines 6 feet social distancing, right? And 6 feet social distancing is to an area. So we have created a definition and a hurdle, and we're ensuring that we do not cross that hurdle at all. And the consumer will know because she can see it through the Lookout app and she'll actually know about it.
Yeah. Right. Okay, that's absolutely amazing. But one can't, ignore the kind of impact pandemic has had on malls as well as, the retail space in general. You mentioned you opened in June. Is that right?
Right.
And that was still about 2.5 to 3 months after the lockdown was really announced. If you can tell me, what kind of impact has it had on the mall space?
Initially, the footfall was as low as 15 to 20% of previous levels. But now it's gone up to 35 to 40% just over a month, which means that, people are slowly getting eager to step out. They're gingerly moving out. Weekends are looking buzzy. Cyber Hub had 5,000 people this last weekend, in spite of, none of the offices being open exactly at this point.
Right.
Because Cyber Hub, anchoring Cyber City. Promenade, that mall had around 11,000 people last Sunday. So it just goes to show that people are stepping out.
Yeah.
So you will see the same trend in Mumbai, that whatever the Prime Minister wanted in terms of domestic consumption, maybe it is coming true, because actually I see a lot of international brands, our luxury brands, are having outlier sales, because clearly the sales are growing because domestic consumption is picking up. That money which used to go out of the country is actually getting spent here.
Absolutely. So shopping is going to get better in India. But the other aspect or the impact that I wanted to know about, Ms. Bector, was about the financial impact. With shops being shut for 3 months, I'm sure there are other financial, economical implications as well. What happened about the rent? Was there any leeway given to the stores, or the kind of drop in revenue that malls would have seen in general because of course, zero for footfalls that we saw during the time of the lockdown?
Right. So, Kamiya, we as DLF, we have actually taken a leadership position. For us, from a contract point of view, we are treating it like a gap year. So what we've done is, depending on the category of retail or F&B, we've given them all lockdown waivers. Rental is waived. Common area maintenance is something that I have already spent. So I will take it because I'm also protecting their merchandise. So yes, common area maintenance is something that I charge and I pick up. But at the same time, we have done a slowly graded rental escalations. So what we've done is we sort of graded it up in a way that the retailers have time to breathe, get their energy back in the business. And with this, I also earn through revenue share. So we've said that if it does well, then we earn through the revenue share percentage. Has it hurt our business? Yes, it has. Because we also have interest to pay. We also have our financial burdens. But I think this year, when we took a decision, we said, let us look at industry as a large and support the industry for them to survive. so that we all have a better year next year.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's absolutely commendable for DLF to do this because that does come as a breather to a lot of small businesses as well as retailers. But there was this report that I read about a Malaysian mall which was closed down during the lockdown, and it reported mold growing on its leather items or few products getting spoiled due to the air conditioning. So, did you see any of those incidents happening at any of the DLF malls?
Kamiya, no. In fact, I saw those photographs too, just floating around the net. You know, the WhatsApp university, some retailers call it. So, actually, no, because our malls were technically open. So, Kamiya, we are very in our business. The reason why we charge the common area maintenance, my center heads used to go during lockdown with a pass 3 times a week to the malls, take a round, ensure that everything is okay, ensure that the aeration is happening. You know, common area needs, your merchandise needs a little bit of air. So as long as the air conditioning, the treated fresh air is induced into the property, it's fine. So those are the steps we had taken. We are old in this game, so we understand what needs to be done. So we just went about it in a systematic fashion. And no, we didn't have any such things. And also, Delhi NCR is not humid.
Yeah.
Malaysia is humid, which is why the molds. Yeah.
Okay, so that could be the case in Mumbai because Mumbai is quite humid, waiting to see how malls really open up.
Oh my God, yes. Yes.
Let's also talk about eating out. That's a big part of a mall restaurant space. You mentioned that a lot of your restaurants are open, even though bars may remain closed for now. What are the kind of precautions that one is taking there? You mentioned that, you can place an order on mobile. So if you can take us through a stepwise guide to dining out now, the new normal.
Sure. So what we did is we tied up with a technology partner, different technology partners for different properties. One such is in Resto. Through the Lookout app, consumers can actually enjoy contactless dining. And what we mean by contactless dining is they can browse through the menu, they can place the order after pressing the QR code. So you go to a restaurant, you see a QR code for contactless dining, you just press on your phone through the QR code. Then you get visibility to the menu, or place the order for what you want. You get a payment option. You can pay, through your, your phone. And also it gives you an opportunity to even live stream into the kitchen. If you are not happy, so we also gave that option, and we are building on that now. If they can live stream into the kitchen and see what the chefs are like. And more than that, I think last week, I gave a certain instruction to our teams that within the space you dine, you're sitting down, you would like to know the temperature of the chef, in the kitchen. So all those parameters shift-wise will be placed on the table. Every restaurant, before it opens in a DLF property, has to be certified by SGS that it is COVID safe. They actually give a certification that all sanitizations are in place. They give a certification, we are happy with it, then they're allowed to open. So our approach has been collaborative. Our approach has been partnership oriented to get, as I said, the industry up and running. We can't lose an industry to a pandemic.
Yeah. And any structural changes in terms of parking to avoid any chaos?
Social distancing is followed even at the parking space. So we ensure initially we leave a bay, if there are bays for parking, we ensure 6 feet distancing is followed. And as I told you, even the cars are sanitized before they enter. We've created a sanitization tube. The cars are sanitized because those chemicals are mild and it can be used on the car surfaces. Nothing going to happen.
All right. So before we let you go, I want to tell that mall is one place where we all go to shop, eat, and have like a good evening or a day out, so to say. How much time do you foresee before things get back to normalcy, the way they were in 2019?
I would think that come November, when Diwali happens, come November, I believe things will be far into normalcy. Looking at the trend, I look at it going back to 80% of previous levels by November. And things should be much better. However, the disclaimer is there shouldn't be another lockdown.
Yeah.
And the government's got that under control. Delhi, when I see how things are being managed, I think we've sort of got that under control now. We are far away from herd immunity. Don't go by what the newspapers are saying, but I think people have become more cautious. And I think November on, we should end the year with a not a bang, but at least with positivity.
All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Bector. Lot of optimism coming in from your side. So I'm hoping that things get back to normal as soon as possible.
Absolutely.